What's going on YouTube? GraveCinder here, and welcome back for another episode of Cities Skylines. I've done a couple of changes. They're not noticeable, so I'll share those with you guys here before we begin anything, and they mainly pertain to public transport. So actually, let's go into transport routes over here. I went ahead and I redid a few routes. Not all of them that we had before. I actually did delete every single one of them, but I redid only say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Only 8 bus routes. So starting with, let's see here, park bus clockwise and park bus counterclockwise are going to be these two green lines over here. So essentially, they're really the park lines that go around the park clockwise and counterclockwise. That's really all there is to it, nothing else. Same thing here with the Niels B Hill bus clockwise and counterclockwise. What this orange bus line does is it goes around, so through the Niels Banning Hill up here, and then it goes down through here. It kind of sort of dips into this this area here as opposed to staying over onto the main street, and that is due to the difficulty of having the bus turn around over here. But in any case, it goes through here, comes back around, goes up this way through the park. So to avoid putting a lot of traffic over here, it does have a stop right over here inside of the park, and then an additional stop over here, and then it kinda sort of loops around the top and has a stop over by the cable cars. The other line that we have is bus line number 8, and I don't have this one named simply because we don't have an actual name for this district yet. However, I did put in a couple of districts here. That's the other change that I did. So bus line 8, bus line 7, and then bus line 6 and 5 are these little two lines. They're simply just clockwise lines that run through through here, and essentially their main goal is to gather all the folks on the outskirts and bring them to the monorail line right there. So that is all for the bus lines. Going into metros, I made a couple of changes over here as well. Let's start with the game day line. Game day line is a line that pretty much collects as many folks as it can through this district here, this district here, these two districts on either side, and then has a stop over here at the stadium or central area there. In any case, we do also have the international airport line, the Alexander G International Airport line, and that one goes, it's the orange line, and that just goes through here, stops right over here. It does have a stop over here by the monorail bus hub, comes through and comes back around. Metro line number 3 is a pretty simple line that I don't have named yet, again because we don't have the districts per se for it, but that line simply goes around the whole block over here in both districts. We do have Metro line number 4. That line is the counterclockwise to Metro line number 3, and I'm actually going to select colors for these right away. So let's make them this yellow, and same thing for this one. That way we can differentiate them. We do have Metro line number 5. Where is this one blinking? Come on, you gotta be here somewhere. There it is. So it's simply a line that goes down to right over here in this little square. So it stops right there, kind of goes around and collects some more folks here and here, and then comes back around. And lastly, very lastly, we have a very short metro line that just goes and takes people from here, brings them to here, and vice versa. And for that one, we're actually going to have only one vehicle. That is all I have for the transport routes. I didn't really do anything else. Blimp stayed the same. So did the ferry lines, and I think we might get into those in the future. Now, as far as districts go, I did name a couple of not name, but make a couple of districts over here. So we have, let's see, districts over here. We have the Anchor district for now, and that's going to cover mainly of the commercial side that we have that we are going to have going on over here. Anchor Heights is probably going to be the largest and highly dense district in our city, meaning that it's going to have the highest human population. And then we have Sheffield Hills. This one, I believe, is going to be the largest district, not quite land-wise, not quite population-wise. So those are the three districts that I have currently placed in the game, in addition to what we did before. So 1, 2, 3 districts that we had previously, and we'll get to naming them here in the near future. Additionally, what I did is I went ahead and I powered up all of the sewage lines there. I also powered up all of the garbage incinerators, and I set this one to empty. What we're going to do here is we're going to redesign this slightly to where we can fit more of the garbage incinerators as opposed to the landfills, as I just simply don't want to deal with having to empty them in the future. Additionally, I did turn on the nuclear power plant. As you can see, this thing is up and running. I did connect pretty much the whole outskirt of the city with power lines, so coming on through here. It stops there because this district over here is now up and running, so it's powered through. We do have a connection coming through here. I added a wind turbine here for looks, but also to power the water towers there. This power line does go all the way around the edge of the map, comes all the way over here, stops at our beautifully designed prison. We are going to remove this wind turbine. Actually, let's go ahead and get that done right away. There we go. I'm hoping that power will now transfer over here, and it will. Perfect. So then the power lines start right over here. They kind of go across the highway as well as the train tracks up into the mountain, and they connect to this big district that we have going on up here. Now you'll notice I did remove all of the wind turbines over here. We are going to put a small residential block there as well. And that is actually about everything that I did. Let's take a look at as far as power goes. So we have it connecting through here. It connects over here. This area here is connected as well. We do have a power line going through the park, so that shouldn't be a problem. We can easily get rid of that guy there. I think that'll be just fine. See, we're good to go there. I'm not even sure if we need this anymore, do we? Yes, actually we do. I'll go ahead and put that guy right back. We'll have to think of a more creative way to connect power to the piers here. That is everything. Oh, the additional thing, the power line coming through here. It cuts through the fields here. It does hook up to the police station there. Kind of transfers over and hooks up to our cargo train stations. And then there is a couple of connections going alongside the highway there, and connects over here. I'm sure we're gonna get rid of these power lines fairly quickly once we start zoning this area over here. But for now, they're just there. Alright, I promise. That's everything that I did. So next thing that we're going to do is, as I mentioned, we're going to do a small residential area up here. Let's go ahead and turn off snapping. So I'm thinking we should start alongside here, maybe come up to there and have an additional street. It's kind of like a little cul-de-sac there. Yeah, that will work. We cannot forget about water. Oh, I hate it when this happens right here. There we go. I think for now that that should be good. Maybe a little bit more trees here in the future. And just go from there. If you guys haven't noticed, since we have activated the prison and where is it? The nuclear power plant, we are now 65,000 in the hole. That's going to be something to come back at once we start zoning everything else. But you got to keep in mind we have everything else that we have to turn on that's going to cost more monies. I think to begin with, we're going to increase the tax rate to 11%. I know 12 is maximum. We're not going to quite go that high just yet. I do want these guys to keep coming into the city as opposed to leaving or having second thoughts. So we'll just leave it at 11 for now and go from there. We are going to go ahead and name this district. And I've got a name picked out. It's going to be Metro Man. Metro Man, and I think it was Melbourne. Metro Man Melbourne, and it's going to be Plaza. Metro Man Melbourne Plaza. Perfect, we'll leave it exactly the way it is. I think possibly at the end of this episode, or maybe even beginning of next episode, or one of the episodes to follow, we're going to get into policies. I do want to set policies for all of these districts and go from there. Now, what I wanted to work on, since we have the remainder of the episode to kind of figure stuff out, I wanted to work on this area over here. I really like how this looks over here. It's not going to be quite as crazy as that, or even crazy as this, but this is kind of something that I had in mind for the other side. So I want to take advantage of the land and the curb appeal, if you will, or the seaside appeal, river appeal, whatever you want to call it, and kind of, you know, just beautify the area a little bit more. So that's what we're gonna do now. Let's go ahead and flatten it out just a little bit more. And there we go. Kind of, sort of, something like something like that, right? I think what would be really cool is if we had a ferry stop over here as well. I'm just not sure if I want to connect it to this area over here or not. I think I do. So let's go ahead and we'll start with that. We'll put it right over here if the game will allow us. Let's check that out. Ferry stop. How about... I think that'll work just fine. I wish there was an ability to turn this around so the ferry could come in through here as opposed to having to come all the way around and then dock. Actually, it doesn't matter. I don't know what I'm talking about. So we'll go through here. Kind of want to keep it away from the actual ships that are going to be coming in through the city. So let's just cross like this, and then we'll even out. Maybe connect through there. And back. Perfect. I think that'll work just fine. Let's go ahead and provide a road. And I wish we could upgrade this over here to a gravel road, but unfortunately we just cannot. Yeah, that looks good. Wait, what's going on with terrain here is all wonky. Let's let it settle, and then we'll go ahead and build the road. And I think that should be okay now. There we go. Perfect. So we're just gonna kind of hug the coast here, if you will. We'll go up the hill here and connect right there. That looks really nice. I like it. And then from here, we're gonna make a there we go. Man, I couldn't ask for anything better. So now over here, we're going to place a couple of marinas. Let's see how that's gonna work. That'll work just fine. We'll also put one. Come on. One right there. And let's see if we can't get a restaurant pier somewhere over here. Actually, let's do restaurant pier first, because that's really close to the marina or the ferry stop, and then we'll do the marina right there. A jet ski rental right there should be good. And then over here, let's go all out on marinas and see if we can this one's probably gonna have some issues with the road connection. Maybe not. Just to test it out, I'm gonna give it some water and power, just to make sure that we're not having any crazy issues that we're gonna have to deal with later. Let's see. Nope, we're all good. Perfect. All right. Quite like how that turned out. With a little bit more creativity, of course, we can make it look a lot nicer. So why don't we start with that? How about a couple of more parks, like a playground area right about there, another one right there. That'll look really cool. We can fit a park there. One there, and then I want a couple of these tennis courts. Not tennis courts, the volleyball courts. Ooh, that looks nice. All right, and the one right there. What does that look like? Why not? A skateboard park? Let's see if we can get a pathway going from there to there. Eesh, that's pretty steep. I don't think that's going to be a whole lot better, so why don't we try to... Yeah, slope's not all that better either. It's a little bit better. Okay. We'll leave it just like that. Connecting the park with its trees that are actually in the park, it kind of makes the whole thing blend. And I like that. I like that the game lets us use the exact same trees that are in the park. Let's see if we can't get a... Oh, we can't, it's too close. What if... we do something like that, and then... one more pathway there. We can even make this one, if it'll let us. Come down. Just like so. Don't really like the way that looks, but I think we'll leave it. Well, I think that looks pretty good. I think we'll keep it just the way it is for now. Go ahead and turn these off as well. Yes, I'll take it. All right, I'm actually quite happy that we got to do that this episode. Now we're on to the next thing. All right, and I think before we end the episode, we're gonna make use of this space over here. Let me tell you exactly why I'm building what I'm building over here. We have a whole lot of industrial areas over here, so that's quite a good sized chunk, believe it or not. Then we have all of the farming, then we have all of the forestry. So to me, that's a good quarter of the map that we have designated for industry itself. That industry needs offices, so it needs payroll buildings, it needs accounting and HR and all of that put together is what we're going to build in this little square over here. So it's not going to be anything fancy. I'm actually going to rethink that. We're going to go right over here. There we go. Something exactly like that. And voila, that looks pretty interesting. So we'll leave that as it is. I'm going to provide a couple of pathways over here just so the workers, if they want to walk and pick up their check, they're welcome to do so. Say somebody just started and they don't have direct deposit just yet, they can come on over here and grab their paycheck. Put a little tree there, or the rock, a couple of trees. And there we go, maybe a plaza over here. And there we go. I think that should be just a-okay. So we'll provide some water pipes over here for these nice folks as well. There we go. Something like that. We'll hook it up to the main pipes. Okay, and then of course as the buildings over here develop, we're gonna add some services and whatnot. We are gonna have a I keep forgetting the name of this policy. No tall buildings policy or whatever it is. High-rise ban. That's it. High-rise ban is the policy that we're going to have here, because I think it'd be kind of weird to have super tall buildings here in this this area alongside all of the industry. But alright guys, I think we're gonna go ahead and call it an episode over here. Metro Man, congratulations, you've got your very own district. And it should be quite a nice one too. I know we didn't do any zoning in this episode. I'm actually gonna kind of slow down on that a little bit, as I don't want to get ahead of ourselves and not have the city finished before we have to focus on zoning and traffic and whatnot. So we'll go kind of slow. Thank you guys again for watching. As always, be the best that you can be in everything that you do. And we'll see you guys on the next episode.